After procrastinating 35 years prior to doing stand-up, we got someone special, you guys, and spending numerous years in and out of gyms, dieting and binge eating while looking to feel validated, attention seeking, here it comes. I thought, what a waste if I don't share this gold with anyone that will listen. So I became a comedic health coach. You guys, welcome to the broadcast, Suze Wolfe.
Yeah. Woo.
Man,
Welcome.
thank you. It's so great to be here. I was dying backstage listening to you guys. Holy shit, that was great. That was great. I'm good. I don't have to do anything. I mean, I'm very satisfied with this podcast right now. So. You know, I got to say something about the panties. First of all, I can't even use the word panties. It's uncomfortable for me to use it. And you know what? I beg to differ. I don't need them all the time because I can make a pair of panties last forever. I mean, you know, it's
As a gift, got it.
I don't whatever. Yeah. Oh yeah. I have holes in mine. I'm like, you know what? These feel good. They fit good. They contour my body. Why would I want to? Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm not getting it.
It'll be summer soon. Air conditioning is nice.
That's right.
That's right.
Oh, awesome.
That's right.
Good to see everybody.
So what inspired you to do stand-up comedy, Susan?
You know what? I was tricked into doing it.
Oh.
Tricked.
That's what Stefan did to me.
Listen, as Dana said, I procrastinated for 35 years, and that's no lie. People would tell me how funny I was, and I'm like, damn, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. I ain't doing that stuff. I ain't doing it. I couldn't sweep that underneath the rug fast enough, you know. And then when I came to California, my girlfriend just kind of talked me into going to see an open mic, and I never even knew what an open mic was. Like, I knew what it was, but I thought it was entertainment. And so, and this was the first time I met Bobby. It was actually at her studio. Bobby,
Oh, nice.
Right, which is in walking distance from where I live. So we're sitting there, and I'm watching these people go up, and I'm thinking to myself, damn, they suck. I mean, I'm like, if they could, I think I might be as funny, if not funnier than that. I can do this. I can do this. So that's kind of how it started for me. I did that, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to do it. And then I joined up for one of Bobby's classes, and I didn't realize there was an actual show, like a grad show.
Oh yeah.
As soon as I found that out, I asked if I can get my money back. I'm like, I ain't doing that, man. I'm not going live anywhere. So, but that's really it. And once I started, you know, like totally addicted and really loved the whole vibe and stuff. Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty cool.
Nice.
Susan, can you turn your volume up at all? Can you crank that volume up? Does that get louder? I mean, we can hear you. It's fine. I was just wondering if it could be louder.
I just want to know if I can do that. You know that I'm a bad person with tech stuff. I'm testing right now. How's that? Is that better?
I think it's probably about the same, but it's fine.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. Maybe a little better.
All right.
Yeah.
I did my computer's volume, but I don't know if there's if I can.
Oh, if there's a setting. If there's a setting. Yeah. Let me see. I'll see.
Right there on your headset. There's on your wire. On the wire, Susan. Yeah, right there. Yeah. There should be something. Yeah, that might have a volume thing on it.
How's that? Testing.
Oh,
no.
It's a nice click. It's rhythmic and cool.
Well,
keep it going.
Yeah.
Can you give me about a 160? Just chill for a minute.
Interestingly enough, but I know this might not be easy to find. Susan, are you on a phone or a computer?
I'm on a computer.
Okay, and definitely don't want to. So do this for just a second. there is a box that you should see that says mute, stop cam, cam/mic. Do you see that?
Yep.
Click cam/mic.
Yeah.
And then you'll see camera, audio, green screen. Over to the left under settings.
Yep. Audio.
Audio.
Okay.
And then you'll see mic and speaker.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So now, at the very bottom of whatever you see, do you see a check button that says automatically adjust mic volume?
Yep.
So is it checked?
It is checked.
Uncheck it.
Yeah, uncheck that and then turn yourself up.
And then you can turn yourself up.
Damn.
Crank yourself like your Spinal Tap.
Oh, yeah, right on.
I dated myself.
It sounds like it might have helped some.
Is that better? Better?
That is a little better.
Yeah, it is a little better.
Like if you can crank it,
it's up as high as it'll go. Oh,
okay, then that's fine. That's fine because that's definitely an improvement.
All right.
The only reason I was wondering is because on my system it says that it's a beta thing. But so that's why I was like, let's walk through it and see if you have it.
I have no idea what that is.
You can just shout at us. We're fine with that.
All right.
Yell in our faces.
All right, I will.
And we don't want to take up your interview time. Beta just means that they're testing it so that they give it to some people, but not to everybody.
You don't have to tell me. You don't have to.
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't using it because I thought it was for beta males, and I'm an alpha. Arr.
Oh my!
I was excited to see it. I figured that out, and I was like, let me just see if we can help. Anyway, we're here.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right.
So do you?
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, do you have a favorite comedian, Susan?
Oh man, you know what? I'm old school. I love like Dangerfield, right? Rodney. A big favorite of mine was Don Rickles.
Oh.
I mean, the sarcasm. I come from a sarcastic family. I came out of the womb sarcastic, so I'm like, I love that guy. I also, I love, oh my God, Joan Rivers. Right, so awesome. I'm a big fan of Pryor, Richard Pryor. Cool. But what got me started with really loving comedy was Lucille Ball, Carol Burnett.
Yes.
Maude, right? I mean, those women really were like groundbreaking for me. So that's kind of I don't have a favorite. It's more like a feeling, and So that was kind of and Three Stooges. I mean, that was the beginning for me. Three Stooges. I still have a dent in my head from when my brother smashed me with a pan. So there you go.
Oh!
Hey, be Larry, whack.
Wow.
That is a genetic advantage in comedy.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Wait, being able to take a fry pan to the head?
Yes, definitely.
There's your genetic advantage. Hey, wham! We can do this for scene after scene. Yay, wham!
So, Susan, when did you has fitness always been your thing before comedy, or?
Yeah, because early on, right, when I looked at my body and thought, what the hell is going on with it? I'm like, you change. When you hit a certain age, right, shit starts to happen. It just, and if you don't have an understanding of it, you start to think that there's something like completely wrong with you. At least I did.
Wow.
And so, and I come from a very athletic family. So seeking out gyms was just like second nature to me. And that's what I did. Lots of gyms and lots of sports. And I did everything and anything to try to lose weight, because I thought that losing weight was just, that it was synonymous with being cool and being, happy and validated and all that good stuff. So yeah, I did every diet known to man. I'll tell you, I did every diet. So it's huge. Yeah. So that was a big part of my life, and I probably lost like 1,000 pounds altogether.
Wow.
Right, but and to that end, you have a very admirable, a lovely physique. I want to frame it properly for everybody. Because I'm someone that open mics at Dow also, so I met Susan at Dow. And I just was like, like she's got her genes are perfect. Like, how is she doing that right now? Like, why? Like, she's like, just everything is like perfectly proportioned. So I would just say, I don't know what folks say to you now in reflection or in with respect to the lifetime of fitness, but you look like, I just thought she doesn't look her age. Like, but only because I know what not looking your age looks like and what age you can be when you don't look your age, did I know possibly what age you might be. But that said, I was just like, dang, okay. Like, you can still be, you know, fly and svelte at, you know, at this certain point, and funny, you know. So
no, this is Zoom right now. I look fantastic, don't I? Oh yeah. Totally. So, yeah. No, but I mean, you know, it is what it is, and it was just a world of just dieting, gyms, and all that good stuff. I mean, that's kind of you know, a lot of my experience. And then I became a coach. It was like just like the normal thing to do. And because, you know, people would always ask me questions, and they'd always just kind of come to me for things. I bartended for years, and you get a lot of people wanting to tell you things about their personal life and ask you questions. I'm like, you know what, man? I'm giving out so much advice. I want to get paid for it.
Amen. Good idea.
So I became a coach, and then shortly after that, I started comedy. And I was kind of doing them both simultaneously. I'm like, screw it. Why didn't I just put the two together? Right. And that's kind of how I gave birth to comedic health coaching.
So, Susan,
well, go ahead.
Oh no! Now in the quarantine, I heard that you're walking a lot. I've heard that you've been described as the Forrest Gump of your neighborhood.
Yes,
walking so much. So are you still doing that?
Yeah, I walk a lot. I do.
Running down the street screaming Jenny over and over again.
While I'm eating chocolate. While I'm eating chocolates, you know?
That's the only way someone's calling me the Forrest Gump of my neighborhood. Jenny! Sorry, that came in my brain.
You know, the older you get, right, you start to look at life a little bit differently, and I'm like, how do I preserve whatever it is that I have left, right? So I go out. Not only am I wearing a mask, but I'm wearing shades, and I got the biggest mofo hat you can even like. You know, I had a homeless person got right up in my face. He said, "Get the fuck out of my way, you freak!" Like, he's I'm like, what the heck? But yeah, so I walk with all that on and just try to protect myself from the sun.
He must really hate hats. Wow.
Right?
Yeah. I was trying not to take that too personal. So.
Now, he might be saying freak in a different way, just has the wrong inflection on it. So
yeah, you know, he better change up his act a little bit, because that would have been kind of nice if he were like, "Hey, you freak." Yeah. Not like that at all.
That's what he meant. He just has a disorder where it comes out horribly. Like, "Hey, you freak! Why doesn't anyone love me?" No.
As a comedic health coach, like, what are you saying to any of your clients as we made it out of Thanksgiving, probably the first whole meal everybody's had in months, and now we're headed into the holidays. Like, what are you saying to your clients about, you know, eating during the holidays and all of that good stuff?
You know what I say? Listen, you know, you got to eat. I'm a big proponent of eating what you want when you want, and just, you know, you just have to know when to stop. And I know that that's the hardest part for people, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
it's so hard. My table, they're all gone.
Oh man. But I say, listen, don't stress over it. Don't fight it. Invite yourself. Give yourself permission to eat, because you know you're going to lose the battle anyhow, right? If you're sitting there at the buffet table of Thanksgiving or Christmas or Chanukah, And right? And you're looking at all those things that are like taboo, right? They're bad as far as the diet world is concerned, you know. And you're like, damn, I really want to have that cheesecake, or I want to have that pecan pie, or I want to have, 17 slices of frickin' pizza, but I know I can't. You know what? Screw it. If you say no to yourself, but you're like still looking at, you're going to end up having it. So just give yourself permission, eat the food, get over it, and just move forward, man. That's it. That's it.
When the brain says no and the heart says yes.
Yeah, I don't believe in dieting at all. I don't use a scale. I don't do any of those things at all. It's been a long time since I've gone on the scale. And I eat what I want when I want. I don't gain weight. And if I gain anything, it's a couple of pounds, you know what I'm saying? Like normal stuff, right? Other than that, man, I don't know. But I used to binge. I used to binge eat. Food was my poison. Food was my heroin. Yeah, big time. How'd
you transition? How'd you change? How'd you switch yourself out of that? Because you have a great attitude now.
Yeah, well, it took me a long time to actually do that, but I worked for Weight Watchers. And I was also a client of Weight Watchers, and I was going to Weight Watchers right at the time I became a coach. And when you become a coach, you learn about your own self. And all of a sudden, this light went on over my head, man. And if you know Weight Watchers, and I'm not putting Weight Watchers down, it was probably one of the most successful programs out there, outside of what I do. And if you know Weight Watchers, you count points. So if you eat something, it's worth X amount of points. So you deduct that off of your all-day tally. So I'm sitting there one day and I'm thinking to myself, man, I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich my way. Not like a thin schmear. I'm telling you, just keep my hand in there and eat them. I want.
Wait, that's a lot of peanut butter.
I can do a lot of damage with an index finger. All right, figure around there.
It sounds like a threat.
It was to the peanut butter. But I thought to myself, you know what? If I eat the peanut butter and jelly sandwich that I want, it's going to blow the whole entire load of points that I have. And it just makes it didn't make any sense now to be like, I want to eat what I want. I have 9 points. What can I eat? I'll have some broccoli and chicken breast. Yeah, that's not going to last. I won't be able to sustain that lifestyle. So that was kind of the beginning of this huge transformation, like huge. And you want to know something? Those freaking traits were in all areas of my life, Lindsay. All areas. Like those things kind of showed up. So once I started doing work in one area, oh man, shit just started to get real in all the areas. It's been pretty cool. It's been pretty cool. And I have to say, doing comedy, a big help, because it helped me with a lot of personal things and just building my confidence and all that other blah, 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 blah stuff.
Yeah. You have to talk at people. It's hard.
So when you get a new client, Suze, what's the first thing you do with like your new clients? How do you onboard or bring them into your fold? Like, what's the first thing you do?
When you said fold, I was thinking about the fold I have on the side here that you can't see because well, I give anybody and everybody who wants, I do like a complimentary discovery session. That way I get to see where you're at, what you want, what your goals are and stuff, where you're stuck, right? Where you're stuck. And then from there I go. I have a 12-week program that I do with people, and it's literally it's a different way of approaching. I don't give diets. I don't tell you what you should eat, what you shouldn't eat. It's a completely different, slower method. But man, this stuff is seriously, works well. It's pretty cool.
Ronnie had a question for you, Susan. What are your thoughts on the keto diet?
My thoughts on the keto diet, and I'm not a nutritionist, right? I'm not a nutritionist. If the keto is like where you don't do the you get rid of a lot of the carbohydrates, right? That's
right.
It's hell.
And so carbohydrates are part of the are a macronutrient, and you need that. You need a macro. For me, if I get rid of my carbohydrates, I don't feel great from it. I feel like we need to be well balanced. My brother's doing the keto, lost a crap load of weight, but he's trying to edge his way back into like normal eating.
Right. I
say do any diet as long as you feel good, you're healthy, your body feels awesome. I mean, I can't, I would never preach to anybody about what they should or shouldn't do. One girl asked me once, she said, I'm kind of starving myself a little bit to lose weight and it's working, but I fainted. What do you think about that? I said, oh, that's a good plan. Oh, I think you should continue with that. Yeah. But so if you feel healthy, right, you feel good and, you're at a normal weight and there are no issues, move forward. But just, you gotta just check yourself, man. That's it. Check yourself.
I did the low carb diet and I lost a lot of weight when I was on the low carb diet. I was supposed to be on it.
Yeah.
But the basement just kept filling with the bodies of my enemies as I was angrier and angrier as time went on.
Okay. And so Nick says he's been on since October and he feels better but hasn't dropped a large arming of weight. I'm not a nutritionist either, but I just know that it's based on getting your body in ketosis. I know that it's based on then operating, it grinds down then on the fat and you're eating the good fats along, that's what you got to up in your life, the good fat, the avocado, the, coconut oil, all that kind of stuff. But I think
avocado is a perfect example of how life's trying to screw you though, because it's really good for you and it's really hard to get a good one. Like it's difficult to find one that's just ready when you open it. Every once in a while you do and you go, oh, this is a magical day. The avocado is good.
I take pictures of mine. But I was just going to say, I think Nick, to your question, all I was going to say was that I think the barometers that Suze gave are really great. I think with keto, my observation of it is really to pay it, is to find like a good guide on it to make sure that you're kind of in line with any type of good guidelines on it. I mean, I certainly, again, I'm not a nutritionist either. I've considered it heavily. I haven't done it because I feel like I metabolize rather high and I don't feel really good if I don't eat any carbs. Because I've tried to I did the Whole30 last September. And it's not ketosis, but it brings you pretty close because there again, it's a no carb situation. There's no beans, there's no baked goods, there's no bread. But it's a lot of protein, and I actually did okay with it. I'm trying to remember what was my saving grace. I don't even remember because I made it the whole 30 days. I did everything that they, that it wanted, and I actually felt pretty good. But somewhere in there's a little bit more. I have more leeway in the Whole30. In the Whole30 world, that's the leeway. Red potatoes, and they just recently added white potatoes, but red potatoes.
Here's my thought for myself. I don't want to get rid of any food group for the sake of losing weight. I don't want to get rid of anything that I enjoy, something that I've been using or eating my entire life. And literally, like you said, you feel stronger when you have the carbohydrate in there. Like I have figured out a diet for me, which might not work for anybody else, but I have a really cool way of finding like the perfect diet for my clients. And so what I eat, like when I eat breakfast, it is powerful, man. It's powerhouse. I can go 4 hours without thinking like, damn, I need some food. I need some food right now. Right? So, and I used to live my life where I'd be like, I just eat all day. I was never, So, but that's
quarantine.
My whole life was a quarantine.
Snacks.
At a certain weight, it becomes that way, without a crane.
A crane. That's funny as hell. But yeah, that's kind of how I believe. That's kind of what I believe in is I don't want to sacrifice the things that I like in order to have something else. It just doesn't make sense to me to do that. Yeah. And then when you lose the weight, then what happens? How do you maintain the lifestyle, right? How do you do that?
It was tough because without carbs, I did get angrier.
Yeah.
And but the other thing is, and this is probably classy conversation. The bathroom made me feel 20 years older, shall I say, when you don't have carbs.
Listen,
was that the classy way to say it?
Well, that was classy. Just barely.
Dana approves.
I'm not going to add much to that, but yeah, that is. That is big time. So who's the guy that asked the question? Was his name Nick?
Nick.
Oh. Hey, so for anybody that wants to do a complimentary discovery from this show, I'm down with that for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Look, she's got Facebook and Instagram stuff there. You could contact her and do things. You talk to her. She's fun to talk to too.
Definitely.
Yeah, she'll just let you talk for 3 hours at a time. Go ahead and try. Just kidding.
I think Lindsay, you were about to say. Lindsay,
I tried the Atkins diet for like less than 2 weeks, and I ended up physically attacking a grapefruit. I just took it with my bare hands and I tore it apart in half and shoved it into my face. I had like grapefruit thing. It's a dangerous diet. I hear you with the anger, man. I hear you with the anger.
while you're like, crouched like Gollum on your kitchen counter. In
the light of the fridge in the dark.
Precious.
I get grapefruit. It's so good.
That's hilarious. Wow.
Oh no, that's my wife and I. We went on a nothing but a vegetable juice diet, like a thing, and we went on for I don't even remember how long. I know it was more than 5 months for sure. I'm gonna say maybe 6 or 7 months, and then we broke when we were in Vegas for like 3 or 4 days. I don't know if we got there with record heat or what, but it was so bad, and there wasn't enough places we could haul our juice machine. to do the damn juice, right? So we found one spot, but it ended up being out of the way because there wasn't any other spots in Vegas that were going to do what we needed for our diet. So I remember the exact thing that broke the diet. We're walking, I think it was either Planet Hollywood, and they had the Earl of Sandwich, and we're walking by it, and I swear to you, somebody got a turkey bacon avocado because that's what it smelled like. And we walked by, and it's been like at least a half a year, and I didn't have nothing but vegetable juice. And we're walking by, and she's like, "Do you smell that?" And I'm like, "No." Yeah. She's like, "What do you want to do?" And I was like, "I want that turkey sandwich."
That's what I
So the Earl of Sandwich, it's royalty. What are you going to do? Say no to royalty, right?
That's a great name. Lauren is ratting you out though. She's saying 3 months, and I was sitting here going,
it was longer.
And I was sitting here like 5 to 6 months. Like I don't even see how you're alive right now. Like
never mind then. Okay, I'm wrong. Felt like 6 months.
What did you do with the juice? Did you drop it from the top of a casino?
No. No, we still have it. We just need to get back into. We've been trying to get back into maybe alternating a meal and maybe replacing one with just that. Or
did it feel good?
Man, the kind of I won't repeat what Dan said, but that section of it was like the best.
Really? Because I would think that it would make you feel 40 years younger.
No, I will say this. I had a lot more energy. I didn't have any mood swings. When I exercised.
Yeah, no energy.
No. I had a lot of energy. My recovery was good. The part where we stopped was because when we were in Vegas, I couldn't have anything long enough or big enough to hold all the amount of vegetable juice I needed to consume while it was like, 120 or 130 or whatever it was. So
see, that's another way life is trying to screw with you, is all the good stuff takes up more space and is more expensive. And then there's a 99-cent cheeseburger right over there.
But, it's
right over here.
It's one of those, though, if you do it, you want to do research and all that stuff. Because the guy that we saw, he was in a documentary called, Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dying.
Right.
He had what was it? He was obese. He had diabetes and something else, and so he was getting I don't know, it was every 2 or 3 weeks. he was getting blood tests because he had to still take the obese medication. Not obese, excuse me, diabetes.
Wait, medication to make you obese? Because medication make you obese?
Sorry.
That's a horrible thing to get.
Not a joke.
We don't need that.
Yeah, I messed up. But he had his.
Why do I keep taking these? My doctor's an asshole.
No, but he had to keep taking the diabetes medication.
Medicine.
And then eventually through diabetes, through actual blood test, exercise, and properly working with an actual physician, he was able to get off of that medication. But it takes a long time if you're trying to do what he did. And I don't recommend doing it unless you see a physician to get blood work and properly get tested to do something that drastic if you're already in that zone. Is what I'm saying. If you're in the diabetes lane, you need to get help with trying to wean yourself off. Don't just do the juice and
right. And I'll say this again, not a nutritionist. Everybody's responsible for their own well-being. But when you do, that was one of the reasons that the Whole30 got to be so popular, because people were coming, they were being able to reduce blood pressure medicines and diabetes medicine. I would imagine, to your point though, if you go from like solid food to only juicing, that would definitely require your physician's very, very close support. But with the Whole30, because you are still allowed to eat very much, it was just the big thing about the Whole30, which I recommend highly to anybody, because there's the guides and the cookbooks are so great, is it's really just about making sure that nothing enters your body that is kind of man-made, meaning that you're making your own ketchup because you're not trying to deal with any of the sugar or sugars that they put in there. You're making your own barbecue sauce. All your vegetables are fresh. Everything that you want to do farm to table. And they let you know, like if you're buying almond milk or whatever, then make sure that these are the ones that are approved. These are the ones that are not, because there's some of the Khalifa, which is the high end. Some of those have sugar, you have to whatever. So I think if there's anybody on here even dealing with, if anybody's in here dealing with diabetes, I don't really think that the road to become healthy, depending on where you are in your fight, is as distant as one may think. But I think it depends on the level to which you're going to make these changes. And a juice change to a normal diet is admittedly, it's a huge change compared to, at least with the Whole30. You still have your complex carbohydrates. You don't have rice. You don't have bread, but you've got potatoes. And then you pretty much, because you can still, like on the Whole30, not that I'm a salesperson, but if they want to sponsor us, I want more books and more stuff. You've got pretty much everything as long as it's clean. The biggest thing with them is, with that program and those books, is that things be clean, that, you're doing as much organic and natural and cage free and all the, these other pieces, and that you're staying as far away from our manufactured corn syrupy, even only in America, when something says natural flavors, are natural flavors man-made. Like, I didn't know that until this year, that when you see on a package and something says natural flavors, those are man-made. They are not natural,
They're very tricky with that wording. You got to be careful.
Oh, very tricky. The bigger that paragraph, the bigger is,
Right.
And they found scientific research. This is not my research, but scientific research, that a lot of those natural flavors, what is it, like red dye 1 and blue dye 5 and all that, actually are really bad. Not only really bad for your body because they can't break it down or process it, but it can stimulate growth if you have tumors. If you have tumors, those types of things are very, very bad.
And Stephen, I wasn't even really referring to like the red dye, whatever, because those are fake. But like literally, I didn't know that if you're reading a package in the ingredient list and it uses the 2 words natural flavors, those are not natural. Like they're made. I was like, what the fuck do you mean that natural flavors are not natural? But like if they're in an ingredient list like that,
naturally made in a lab.
Right, naturally made in a lab. Like I did not know that.
And here's a thought for you, right? Here's a thought. It's a big percentage of being healthy, right, is what we eat. But what's even more important is not what we eat, it's who we're being when we eat.
Very powerful. Part of the program. Tell us more, Suze. Tell us more.
Well, yes. You got to come have a discovery session if you want to know more. But I will say this about that. You could be eating, because a lot of people say, I eat healthy, I have all healthy foods, I can't lose weight. And after you start talking to people, you see how stressed they are.
Mm-hmm.
They're in their life, they're just very, very, very stressed. So you could be eating this very healthy, well-balanced meal, but you're eating it and you're numbing out. You're thinking about the kids. You're thinking about the crappy boss. You're thinking about my life sucks. You're thinking about, that you got cheated on. You're thinking about all these things while you're eating. And you want to hear this? The closest, one of the best ways to lose weight is to learn how to relax. And there's so much to that, but it is the basis for a lot of because when you can relax and you can be in a not in a stress mode, but you're in relax mode, that's when we make the best decisions in our life, whether it's food, whether it's finances, whether it's health, career, relationships. That's when we make the best decisions. But when we're in stress mode, our eating kind of sucks. We might spend too much or not spend enough. We might be like, I find that person very attractive, but they're really not good for me, but I'm going to go for it anyhow. But yeah, so there's a lot to it. Anyhow, listen, enough of this healthy crap, right?
Well, it is funny that you mentioned when you're not in stress, you make better decisions. A comedian some people know called Joe Rogan, he had this theory that if you had a son, you should teach him to manually evacuate before making large decisions in his life.
Oh God!
So that he would be his most relaxed.
Well, I know.
Like, should I get married?
Oh boy.
Maybe not. Should I buy that car? Oh, nope. It was just that guy talking.
Well,
Damn.
I would say with anything, if you gotta, use the laboratory or the bathroom, you should definitely do that before you make any decisions. Most definitely.
Oh, okay, that's what you mean.
Oh yeah, but they do say that if you, where I was listening to what Susan was saying as well, and it's something that I learned as well. When you're stressed out and you're worried and you're dieting, even if you're eating healthy, you got to remember that a stressed body creates what is it, cortisol?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're not helping yourself right there. You might as well just do the time, even if it's light weights, walking and eating right, find a way to be happy while you're doing it. So you don't help create, more of the bad stuff.
That's right. And then there's the whole thing about being addicted to carbohydrates and sugar and all that stuff. I mean, that in of itself is like its own animal. It's amazing. All the things that are related to that and why we do it and why we can't, a love-hate relationship with, with sugar, And,
Yeah.
It's interesting. It's interesting. But once you get a handle on it, from me, then your life is good.
Yeah, from her.
That's right.
You better do it now.
I put up a couple of things, you guys. Just great things that Sue says. They're in the chat. Like, who are you while you're eating? And being relaxed is still the best way to lose weight. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, how does that connect to your comedy? How, because you said that you found them kind of working together.
They really do work together. You know what? That's such a great question. I'm not really sure how they work together, to be honest. I know why I put them together. Is that what you mean? Like,
yes.
Yeah, like, what is it?
Well, I mean, I can't not be funny. Is that like, so when I have a client, I'm not a hard ass, but we'll get the job done. But there's a lot of laughing that is involved with this, laughing with everything I do. Like, I could never not be funny or say something sarcastic. So I thought, what the hell? That's a part of my personality. I have to do it while I'm coaching people because I'm not a stuffy person. Is that what you mean? Like, I couldn't.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I can't just be all like prim and proper and have this halo over my head. I like to eat food. I like to drink alcohol. I like to swear. I like to, be funny. And I'm very passionate about health and wellness, but I'm mostly passionate is about being empowering and helping others. That is the big deal for me. Yeah, that is really like unbelievable, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so that's the biggest and the best rush of it all, and you know, and that's it. I feel like everyone's looking at me right now.
No, such powerful. No, yeah, those powerful words.
Really, it is. And I'm very I'm pretty blessed. I came from two really funny, charismatic parents, you know, and so my entire life was all about joking. Very athletic parents, and so there was a lot of sports. But then, you know, other family dynamics kind of played a part, and I went a little crazy about body image and self-image and stuff. And so I kind of departed from the health and wellness piece. I didn't know whether I wanted to be a pothead or be a jock in school. So I actually tried to do both, right? Like,
yeah, go rock climbing. You're a pothead jock.
No, I remember. That's right. I remember smoking weed, and then playing softball. And man, my mouth was dry. Holy shit, that was unbelievable. But the more I kind of maneuver, I knew that being athletic and being healthy was the route I wanted to take, and so I did my experimenting. I smoked weed, I drank, I tried cocaine, I did it all. I did it all in a very short period of time. And then I snapped the hell out of it, man. I'm like, you know, and then I, you know, kind of went back and forth with losing weight, gaining weight, losing weight, gaining weight, back and forth, back and forth. I did the Atkins diet. I did every diet known to man. I did taking speed, right? Dextrine. I think that's what they called it.
It was Dextrine. Yeah.
I didn't. Not only did I not eat, I didn't sleep for 2 days. I'm like, screw that. I cannot do that. And that was miserable. And funny, I used to binge eat, right? Like, I would be so frustrated and pissed off at the world. I would go to the nearest store, right? The nearest supermarket. But on my way there, I'd stop at like Mickey D's and grab a big sloppy hamburger with some special sauce. And I would chow that down before I get to the supermarket. When I got there, it would be potato chips, ice cream, maybe a pizza, you know, something that I could cook on the stove, in the microwave, and the oven all at the same time, and just keep it coming, keep it coming.
Crisco with sprinkles.
Yeah, anything I could. And then after the last bite would go down, it would be self-loathing. Like, you would hate yourself, right? So then I would be like, oh my God, I'm going to start a diet. So I'm like, right after that last bite, I'm like, I'm going on a diet. What do? I had an apple. That was like a beginning of a diet, like a half an hour later after eating all that crap. So I lived like that for a long time. And when I became a coach, stuff changed, man, big time. I mean, it changed before that anyhow, but that was the frosting for me was becoming a coach.
How long have you been in this healthy living phase? Like, do you still eat junk, but you just eat it in moderation? You just listen to your body, or do you eat really clean stuff?
I have done so much work up here, like rewiring, right? Because that's kind of what it is. That when I look at a buffet, right, and this is such a great question. When I go to a buffet, and if I look at the mac and cheese, I'm thinking to myself, of course it's amazing. Of course it's going to be delicious. But how is it going to make me feel? So I weigh it out now. And how it makes me feel, which is kind of, right? Chances are it's going to push me towards food choices that I know I'm going to love, but they're going to be just so much lighter and make me feel so much better long term.
Yeah. Like, what do you get at the buffet?
Oh man! Well, first of all, I don't go to a buffet because I unless I'm high, I don't go to a buffet. Which I don't even get high anymore because, first of all, I hate being paranoid, and I would eat like an animal.
You go to a buffet. You go to a buffet.
If I went to a buffet, right.
I just saying, but
that's hilarious. But I eat all different things. I eat everything and anything I want. Like, I have pizza once a week. I eat, I have fish. I do salads. I have steak. I'm well-rounded, man. I drink martinis. I'll have wine. I love sucking down some brewskis.
Lutefisk?
What's it called?
Lutefisk from Finland.
Oh,
is that a beer or a wine?
No, it's fermented basking shark.
Oh,
oh,
wow!
I knew it sounded familiar.
Yeah, it's a delicacy there apparently, but it's supposed to be one of the most foul things ever to eat in the world. So when you said everything, I haven't met anyone who's actually eaten lutefisk. I was getting my hopes up.
Oh my goodness! And so we're gonna have to have you back. Like, this is the conversation that keeps on giving. You are it's like you stored up what you needed to do for 35 years, and now it's just an explosion of Suze Wolfe in the comedy, right, in the comedy world and in the health coaching world. So we're gonna have to have you back. We have another amazing guest as well that we're so excited to have. But we just want to thank you, Suze, and you guys.
Thank you.
You guys
throw up her social media.
It's coming now. It's coming now. So her social media, you guys, is up. Anybody, not Ronnie, who was that? Nick, who asked about the keto, and also being disturbed about beaver butt glands in Ben and Jerry's. That was Nick. And missing tacos and potatoes. So Nick, I'm sure that the keto diet is going reasonably well, but you may want to do a discovery session with Suze, especially since the first, is free as a result of being a guest. She's a guest on our show and you're a listener. So there's some synergy there. And anybody else, let Suze know that you were on here with her tonight, and get your check out, get a discovery session, because I've had one and they're fantastic. Let me just say this, that even if you have a pause as to when you jump into service with her, her discovery sessions are amazing. And if there's any way to help you pivot and to begin to think about how you want to make improvements, and like she said, it's more than just diet. She's definitely got the discovery session for you.
Thank you. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah. Yes. I'm totally open. Yeah. So thank you for having me. It was awesome.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, and we will see you on our comedy travel soon.
See you out in the universe.
Wait, Suze, before you go, where can we see you next doing comedy? What's your next show? What you got next?
I have been laying sort of low, but I do have. Oh, wait a minute! I have something coming up with Lindsay. But that's like, is it right with Lindsay? Is it? Oh yeah.
Is it the New York Underground?
New York Underground?
No, Giggles for Georgia.
Oh yes, of course. And Dana will be on it as well next week.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah. So, and we'll plug the more of that show. So, Suze, you're on week 2 or week 3?
Week 3?
The 20th, maybe?
Yeah. All right. So, amen. All right. So, awesome.
Giggles for Georgia.
Giggles for Georgia. We'll talk about it. Anything else for you, Suze? Anything else?
No, as far as performing, no. I'm, no. That's it.
Okay.
Right? Yeah.
Okay.
I'm open if anybody wants to hire me. I work for nothing as a comic.
Yes. Don't we all?
All right.
Thank you, Susan. Thank
you.
All great.